Morning. Don't you hate when you wake up and you check your phone and it's plugged in, but it's not charging, and you like touch it and it's like, oh yeah, I went to charge. And you're like, SOB. Now the whole day is randomly off, especially if you're like gonna get up and go and your phone's like 40%, so it's not the end of the world. You could definitely go out and just like put it in low battery mode or something, and just be like, it'll be cool. Like, keep off the phone. Don't do anything with it. But it's just one of those things. I set up. No, I'm not. Now I'm using my watch as a stopwatch because I usually put the phone down here and use it. Now it's just one of those things. Like, can I get some charge into it before I go on my walk? Because usually get up, get ready to go out, record a video, and then head out for like. The walk is like a good 2 hours minimum. If I'm really booking it, it's going to be about 2 hours. But if I'm getting distracted, fucking around on my phone, checking out new places, meeting people, it's going to come a lot closer to 2.5, maybe even 3. Wow, the time feels like super longer when it's on my wrist, um, or not longer, but faster. It's like whoop, it's over, and 3 hours of Bluetooth and hitting the button and everything, it hits the phone fairly hard. So 40% probably wouldn't cut it. And I have like a case that's a battery pack, but the way it works is you plug it into the pack and the pack's plugged into the phone. So if the charge doesn't want to go into the pack, then it ain't going into the phone. It's really frustrating to me because when I first got the pack, I was like, oh, this is nice and snug. And then it just had one of those scenarios where it was plugged in and then it got like kind of just tweaked just a little bit, like sitting there, someone put like a jacket or something on it, so the plug was nice and straight, and then it was nice and straight, and then it got kind of bent in the plug. It's a terrible angle analogy to try to do it, but so now it plugs in and it stays in just fine as long as you don't like jiggle it at all. So does it stay in just fine? I don't know. I tried opening it, taking it off and kind of squeezing the port, because I think really the only tension in there is literally this, like the size of the port, like pinches and holds it in. So if I can like bend it back into shape, really, even if you just bent it till it was like a little bit too small, then the next time you stick the jack in, it would like size it up correctly. Yeah, man, weird stuff. Uh, if you're out there and you're someone who suffered a distal bicep tear, you probably have experienced a topic that might make a bunch of you go, oh no, when I bring it up. But if you tear that part of the tendon and you sit down on a toilet and you try to wipe your ass, the muscles don't work anymore the way they used to. And in my situation, the tear happened while I was holding a heavier object that I couldn't just let go. I was helping out my father-in-law with a TV, and I was like, okay, got to put this TV down. Got to put this TV down. And then I didn't know what was going on. I tried to pick up the TV again. I was like, that's weird. I don't know what's going on here. So I just picked it up with the other hand, and we got through the day. And then later on, doctor's like, yeah, he tore the fucking tendon. So I had a lot of like the muscles surrounding the forearm muscles here, and the forearm muscle on top, and the shoulder muscles and everything had like kicked in extra in ways that they don't normally do, and were heavily strained, hyperextended almost. Like, luckily they don't look like they had a lot of damage, but that whenever I would do something for the next few days, I would really feel it in the like forearm and the forearm near the bicep and the flat of the forearm. Yeah, then you get on the toilet and you're just like, oh Jesus, like I have no strength pulling in How do I do this or whatever? And months later, it's repaired, and then you sit there and you go, wait, which way did I used to go? Was I like an excavator or a bulldozer? What the fuck did I used to do? God damn it. What a weird thing to experience, like, late in your life. You're like, how did I used to do this? You don't even think about it. You don't even normally think about it. I'm pretty sure I was an excavator. But suddenly I was like, is bulldozing better? What a ridiculous topic. I don't think I'm doing my exercises quite right because I'm kind of cracking myself up daydreaming here. Alright, let's get the weight. We're going to do our forearm supination, pronation. We're going to crank up our light a little bit here. Like this. I can tell it's getting better. On Monday, this is Thursday, on Monday I did a bunch of woodworking projects, including using a saw, a hand saw, hacksaw style, to cut 2x4s. And then I had to use electric sander and sand on them for a while, and then I stained them and painted them and stuff. Stained them up, didn't paint them, but I painted them with stain. I stained them with rags, using rags. Varathane and rags. Was it Varathane? I think that's a brand name. Anyway, it was fun because I had my nephews in there, and I was like, well, they don't get to like see stuff like this anymore. Like, so much stuff is like just pre-built, prefab, who works with like wood and sanding and staining. So I was like, they get to sit here. But they didn't. I tried having one of them cut the wood for like a little bit, but yeah, they're just too young. Totally understandable. So most of the work was myself, and I didn't push myself, but I wasn't gonna like, saw on it for 30 seconds and then take a 30-second break or something. I was like, I'm gonna keep sawing until this thing's fucking done. So a little bit of those muscles really got worked, but the 2 days afterwards, when I was doing these supination, pronation exercises, it was like, hey man, you done too much. Lay off. And then now, basically back to normal. I can feel like the ghost of it in there, going like, whoa, you did a bunch of the other day, but this is fine. So that's good. You never know when you're gonna like re-fuck it up. It was supposed to be at the like full on 12 weeks of healing is supposed to be enough to fully heal the surgical site. I don't know how bad the sprain was, and we hadn't really like focused sprain or hyperextension. I should ask the physical therapist next time I'm in, like what exactly would that be called, so I can talk about it more informed here, with a more informed opinion here. Excuse me, faces. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I was doing a 15-pound weight at PT, so no problem there. It's just one of those things like you had done. If you've ever done like weightlifting on a regiment, there are days when you like try harder weights or do some more reps, and it felt like that afterwards. Like, oh, I did too much, because you always have a good soreness the next day, but some days you're like, this soreness has a twinge of discomfort in it. I gotta find more vocabulary. I'd say that's another really good piece of advice if you're going to go talk to a physical therapist or doctor and stuff, is like, go online and read up about how doctors and therapists talk about pain, because they might kind of go over it with you real quick, and they'll tell you to pick numbers and stuff, but the numbers have slightly more meanings in them than you might think. It's like, 1 through 4 is like, it hurts, but I can ignore it, and then like 4 through 6 or something is like, it distracts me, and then 7 to 9 is like, it makes me want to stop doing what I'm doing, and 10 is like, I need a anesthesiologist or something. It's outright. 10 is like maximum pain that needs to stop. I need medical assistance or something. So, nope, gotta keep that arm back. Yeah, I can feel it when I get that arm back. I can really feel it in the bicep. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow I'll do like a light set of curls, especially if this continues to feel better after the after recovering from the woodworking incident. That would really and see how that feels. Like clearly, this is okay. This is healing at like a pace that I understand, that I respect. Um, and you know, not as old as I used to be. Or wow, well that's true too. Not as young as being the point though. Um, if the oldness is just an age, how old are you? 45. How old are you now? 45 plus 7 seconds. You know, 10. Yeah, yeah. If I could try that and then see how that feels afterwards, that'd be cool. I think I had a little bit like allergies and run down, like feeling. Um, I powered through it. It's just generally been the move I've been applying when things are like I don't really feel like it. It's like, well, why don't you go do it? You can always stop if you're really not feeling it. And then I usually end up walking a bunch anyway. Like it's usually just like I'm kind of tired. I don't want to walk, you know. And then once I get out on the walk, I'm like, I can do this. It's fine. I kind of knew that anyway. So it's these things, you know. I don't know. I've always just had that philosophy, like just because, as long as it's something that's leading to a positive net benefit, like walking around or dieting or exercise or whatever, like, you know, lifting weights, it's a little repetitive. It's kind of fun at first, but you know, like a year later, you're still doing the same stuff, and you start seeing benefits though. So you're like, this is kind of boring. It's, you're literally tearing my muscles. I ache the next day, except in the long run, you have a benefit. You're stronger, you look better, or whatever the fuck you need. Your health is better. So it's not like I don't want to is the most like valid answer. It's a concern. It's a reason not to go see a movie. It's a reason not to do something that the whole point is that you want to do it and enjoy it. But even in those scenarios, you might go see a movie that you may not think you'll like because you want to be informed about public discourse around the thing, you know. Everybody at work is watching it, so if you watched it, you'd at least be able to like talk to people. That kind of stuff. I'm not saying like peer pressure is great or whatever, but yeah, there's just like trade-offs. Sometimes you do something you don't think you like and you'll like it, or sometimes you do something where you're not up to it and that gives you like a new mindset that you have like a whole new approach to it, and it turns out better than you thought. And sometimes it fucking drags it way fucking down. So, you know, keep in there. You know, anybody out there is recovering, just like keep it up, keep working. You know, record your own videos. You know, I put this up because I was like, couldn't find other middle-aged dudes that were into like video games and stuff like I was into. And I would just find a lot of like muscle guys who are like, I tore my arm and now I'm getting stronger. And I'm like, cool. I see that you get better. That's neat, but I want to relate more. So, you know, maybe do your own thing. I'll see you guys tomorrow.